Marijuana's bad.
Hi guys, I'm AK, and we are back in the studio working on this track. Today we're going to get to the hard part of this track, which is making all the transition between the sections musically work in some kind of way. And to be perfectly honest, this is something that I struggle with the most with all of my tracks. So I'm going to do my best to get through it, and I'm hoping that we'll have a reasonably close to finished track. One thing to note is that I'm doing all of this in mono because of the way that I'm recording everything. So I will have to maybe do some stuff off camera just to sort of be aware of how things sound in stereo. You guys probably are hearing it in stereo. Hopefully the track is sounding good. But one of the downfalls to doing recording sessions like this is that I have to work in headphones, which is sort of like kissing through a veil. Anyway, no more waxing philosophical. Let's get to the task at hand, which is listening back to our track and sort of dealing with the notes that we've made to ourselves last time. And you're hearing stuff, but I'm not hearing stuff. There we go. That feels a little robotic. So I'm going to mark it as such. Maybe we'll deal with it later. Transition's okay. The chords are too much. This is cool. This is probably my favorite part so far. Oh, there's a hit there. That is too much. That part is better. I like that. I'm just going to leave it empty. Lose energy. I also really like this part. The drums could be better. Alright, I dealt with these, and I'm happy with them. So I'll just delete them from my notes track. Yep. These are good. Oh, I'm in a good mood. This should drop a little bit harder. I might need another instrument, which I'm sort of dreading because I'm trying to be done with sound design. But I just hear like a big wah 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 wah. I'll stop doing that because I can't sing. But it's in my head. So it'd be cool if this came back. Maybe if I put a fade on it, I will take the mic away from the keyboard so you don't get so much keyboard noise. Just settle like that. This part needs to be more exciting. So I'm just going to put make exciting. I think this whole part needs to be made more exciting. It almost like this needs a lead, so maybe I'll just change the color and say make a lead. Yeah, I can tell this part of the song. You can tell it needs the most work. And then this is chaotic. I can't groove to this. Too much chaos. Chaosy. That's cool. The idea is cool, but the implementation is poor. I think that here it doesn't need to. The fact that it doesn't drop as much as I wanted it to here is not really a problem. And then we're looking for the same kind of transition here, it looks like. So that definitely needs a little bit of work in there. That's one that I'm worried about, because this section is so disparate from the one preceding it. The chords are super weird and causing some dissonance that I don't like. Yeah, I don't like the dissonance. Same thing here. All right. Sorry, I lost the mouse there for a second. And obviously this needs some work, but I'm not super worried about it because as smooth and cool as this ending is, we might not use it because it kind of doesn't fit our track. All right, I'm going to save because I made some notes here that are good. And now I'm going to try to be, fairly regimented in this session and try really just to work on stuff that I've specifically made a note of in this last listen through. I'm not even going to worry about what's unused here because by my estimation, and another great reason why some of you have talked to me or asked me how I quickly navigate around live. Maybe it's just a quick finger, but I got this parts empty MIDI track, which I think I talk about all the time, which lets me do so many things like, for instance, select the entire track, mouse off, and then see at the bottom. I'm pointing to the left-hand corner of my screen where you can see it says duration is 556. It's just a useful tip for many, many reasons. So are the notes. All right. Feeling extremely tangential today, which is not good for the length of this video. Alright, I'm going to listen to it a couple times. I hear the roboticness being a function of the squeak and the pitched hits. So let's fix that. Definitely not there. Definitely not there. What's happening here? So let's hear it just with the drums. I'm not sure about that. that's so cool. Maybe I'll use that to add more rhythmic interest to the section, so I'll switch into triplets mode. I'm just like moving these little hits around to try to add some interesting accents here. It's bothering me though that they sound different each time. I know it's the flanger, that's why. And this one now doesn't belong, which is cool. The section is changing, but that's okay. Alright, let's hear it in context, because I actually think that's pretty cool. The mix is going to be off probably. So it's like, okay, so now I have a situation where I really like this, but it will need to continue because for the rhythm of this weird triplet feel to make sense, it needs to be repeated. So what I'm actually going to do this is find some other channel, like this leads channel doesn't have anything going on here or here. So rather than make a new channel, I'm just going to resample this part on this channel. So I'll record enable this channel, I'll solo this, and I'll let her fly. And then I will just double this. And then I will get rid of this, and then I may have to mix this. Make it louder, because there were 8 dB of gain on this, and there's also 8 dB of gain on the track, so my guess is I'm going to have to add 8. For some reason this first hit is bothering me. Maybe if we accentuate it. Alright, that's cool. Alright, let's listen from the beginning. I think this is going to work. It's bothering me that it builds so fast. And then, does this need to continue? Nope, it's definitely not going to work to continue. what might be interesting. Maybe I'll chop this up even further, except this time chop the clip in quarters. So. Alright, I also wrote do build here. Maybe there should be silence here for that transition. Just hearing it. I'm not sure I like that. Maybe just back it off to here. That's cool. I like how it's a little off, and I didn't make a note of it, so I'm going to delete the notes that I've implemented. Alright, something got messed up. My guess is it's these fuzz chords. So what happened is the pitch bend got triggered, so if I... What? Oh, it's that, yeah. What? I do not understand what's happening here. Is it my bass? Is it? What is the wrong deal? Sometimes this happens. Ah, it's the leads. Tricky, tricky. I promise, guys, I got it this time. I'm sure of it. There we go. Alright, I see what I was saying. The chords are just too much. Alright, so let's figure this out. We're going to listen a couple times and then make an educated decision based on a plan. Alright, I'm thinking it is the chords. Yep, it's definitely the chords, and they're just too much. Which is pretty easily manageable. We can just use the utility that's already here and automate the volume. So let's make sure we have our groove intact. So we don't destroy what we already have. So I want to take this utility, yeah. And then put a point here and make it fade back up. Might just repeat this. Oh, there goes my phone. I hope I'm still recording. It looks like we're still recording. Sweet. Crisis averted. All right, let's see what this sounds like in the mix. All right, it's too much, but it's the right idea. Dude, volume is such a powerful ally. I am just automating utility and it's adding so much subtlety to this phrase. Make them smooth. Just right there. That last phrase needs to be a little bit different. Maybe if it was like a little ramp down. I shouldn't swear, there might be young kids watching me. Oh, I hope not. Alright, I think that's perfect. Do I like that at the end? There we go. Maybe that's too much too. Is this with everything off? This thing really took up a lot. I think I might imitate that shape a little bit with little variations here. All right, cool. I think that'll work. Hear it in context. It might still be a little bit much, to tell you the truth. Come on. It starts there. That's cool. Let's keep going. I hear it. Let's deal with that right now. That's been annoying me for a while. So that's that high pitch ringing. Where's it coming from is the question. Probably our chords. Where is it coming from? I'm having a hard time finding stuff today. Ah, the bass. It should not be coming from the bass. So it's this guy. Is it this guy? That's tamer. Maybe tamer. That's much better and understated, which is always better. It'd be cool if it came again there. Nope. All right, this is pretty good. We're getting up to the drop. I'm really happy with this section too, because I'm bobbing my head to it. And just so we know, we're coming up to this chorus, and we're gonna have to make it drop harder. So we really want to think about what's happening at the very tail end of this phrase. Maybe what we could do is take the drums. This is like a totally classic and a little bit cheesy move, and take a filter and put it at just, I like to turn, let me stop because I'm going a million miles an hour. When I drag an effect and onto a rack that I just want to use for a little section, like in this case, I just wanted to use like a high pass filter to sweep up here. I'll take it, grab it, and then turn it off so that I can then just like turn it off, and then the automation for that effect being off registers here, so I can just quickly switch to the pencil tool, and usually quickly, and just draw that effect on. So then the filter's on for that phrase. Anyway, maybe unnecessary to explain that, but I thought it's a good little workflow tip. All right, so we want to take the frequency and have it either go down or come up. I can't tell. Or maybe have it go up. Or make it go up and come down. And then I'm thinking it might even be cooler to have this happen not, are you ready for this? Not on the drums only, but on the whole master. It's a little crazy. And I highly recommend, if you're ever going to put anything on the master like this, that you be conscious of anyone else you might be working with, but also be conscious of only turning that effect on when you need it. So I'm just trying to find the automation for the filter on this so it doesn't get double filtered. Let's hear what that sounds like. Oops. Good idea. It's the right idea, but it's just a little too dramatic. Oops, you guys, I'm editing the wrong frequency like a jerk and wondering why it's not making a difference. This is the one I should be editing. Then maybe we'll have the LFO amount come up a little bit for that filter. And then because we're doing this, we're greatly reducing the dynamic range of the signal that's going out. So this might again be another abuse of a limiter, but I'm gonna put -6 here because I don't want to go above that. Actually, I'm gonna put -7 because I really don't want to go above that. And then we're gonna turn the limiter on. Yes, on my master, I know, just for this section. And then we can oh, that's so badass. Let's like push this, and I'm starting to get to a point where if you're doing this shit on the master, if you're doing this stuff on the master, you're a crazy person and you shouldn't. But this is exactly the type of tangent I said I wasn't going to go on, but I'm doing it. What happens if we do this here? What happens if we do this here? What happens if we do this here? Oh, I'm peaking. I'm probably destroying everyone. The limiter's got to go last. Or maybe, this is so horrible that I'm doing this, but what if I just did this? That's going to be impossible to mix. Like, literally impossible. Alright, so one thing that I should probably just do at this point, since I've gone down this tangent long enough, is to create a new track, call it master, have it at 0, and just record everything onto it. And then delete this stuff. I will just for now put this stuff in a group and turn it off, so everything's definitely off. And then you can highlight all of your tracks, and you can hit Command E and it will chop them all. You can hit Command X and it will cut them all away from that, so they're somewhere on your clipboard. And this is why I like to leave a little bit of space in my tracks, is so I can go somewhere here and then just paste them in. Was that right? Yeah, that's right. Alright, so I haven't lost this or anything, and I have this now. And I can mix on this track like a normal person. And I can even do further things, which might be cool, like, I don't know, compress the crap out of it, even though we've already abused it with a limiter. Turn the makeup off. And then, like, you know. Or maybe I'll use my handy dandy keyboard shortcut and chop these all up really fast. Well, sort of fast. How much time are we on, guys? 35 minutes? Alright, I should probably stop soon. Try not to make these production sessions too much longer than an hour for fear of my health, among other things. And then I'm just going to go in here and 0 some of these. Alright, it's not going to work straight like that. It's got to be a little patterned. This is the best way to do it, even though it kind of makes it crazy to listen to it in a loop like this. Oops. Maybe you can already hear what I'm going for. And I can do other things. I can just like have fun and record that because it's silly. Maybe I'll just do that for a couple things. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I'm going to play with the scale here. There it is. That's cool. Make this stuff red. And if, you know, I'm like, but it's losing its groove, I have everything saved. Or I could just take, you know, I have the original part saved, or I could just take the existing drum part, which I believe it was just a continuation of the loop. Actually, I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. What was it? So it's this part. I could just take the drum part from that and bring it back in, which might just help us not lose the groove. There it is. And then something else. There's something else that I'm supposed to remember. Huh. Or maybe if it was like something like this. What if it was... There it is. I think that's cool. I think that could sound perfect. Maybe not perfect. Saving. Okay, sweet. I'm digging it. Now we can delete this filter. We don't need it. We're not using it. We can go back to our master. We can delete this whole rack. We're not using it. We got that master thing just as is. And I'm just going to do a quick check on the metering. I'm going to delete drop harder because I actually think this sort of takes care of this problem. Although, you know what? I'm going to leave it there because this is super important. In fact, I'm going to make it a different color that makes me realize how important it is. That's an important color because that really is the crux of the song. We are now, how many minutes? Let's think about our listener for a second. We are 2 minutes into the track, so we need to have something interesting here to get them to listen to the remaining 5 minutes of the track. Yeah. So I'm just going to have a quick look at the metering, which is whack. That's way too high. I'm going to have to turn everything down. But as long as it stays around to, yeah. All right, cool. We're good. We can press on. Press on! We don't have any notes for a little while. So I guess the next thing we're thinking about is this interlude. Which may have to be another video, but I was hoping to get to it today. course, it already sounds pretty dope. All right, cool. Let's make this more exciting. Ooh, 41 minutes. Yeah, if I could deal with these two sections, I'd be super happy. This would be a productive session. All right. The leads. What's the most important part of this section? It's this thing, isn't it? What happens if we move the FM matrix? Does it get crazy and messed up? Put anchor points. I don't like it as much with the anchor point moved. I might just do something crazy and cut out the lows here. Raise some of the highs. Really raise the highs. Raise the volume. And we might even have the volume do little choppity chops. Like have it, I don't know, come up at even higher at the end of the phrase. Playing with a lot of volume today. Or maybe this is the wrong approach. Maybe what I really need to do is have another utility that's just dedicated to volume, make small volume edits with the already boosted frequency. All right, so we want edits within a range of, I don't know, -6 to 6 dB. This is just a rack I have with one knob, so I can hit delete and it's back to normal. All right. Let's think about this. That could be cool. Oops. Don't move the whole thing. Oops. If you want to just move something up, click it, hold the command key, and then you can just drag it up without moving it in time. And remember, these are small volume edits. This is all within a range of 6 dB in either direction. So it's not drastically affecting the sound, but it definitely is affecting the cadence and the phrase of the riff. It's a little robotic. I wonder how it sounds with everything else. like it. I think it needs something else. One thing I might do, because I just love filters, is to put another auto filter, on the slip lead, and put it in a rack, and then turn that rack off, but just turn it on here, because I'm just going to use it for this section. And put this in a rack with a bandpass filter, and create a chain, which is my try. So I can accentuate the frequencies with the bandpass, but not lose the continuity of the phrase. Now this is going to drastically raise the volume, so I'm going to have to mix these. And I think in headphones it's really, really freaking tough, especially because we're dealing with a boosted volume here. So what I might do now that I have this is delete the volume automation I have on this gain, or maybe just reduce it. It's probably going to be too much. Yeah, it's still quiet to my ears. So we'll go just by 2. Alright, that's going to be good. And then, man, I wish there was some way to save automation, because I really don't feel like penciling in automation. What I might do is something I've been doing, is turn on my push. And I was experimenting with this when I saw someone do it in a tutorial that I was watching. It's basically when you have to do some automation and you want it to be techie, but you don't want to draw things out with the pencil, is to put your track in halftime, record the thing in halftime, and then just speed it back up. So to do this, I'm going to solo the drums and our lead, and then I'm going to switch this to 70 to halftime, the global tempo. Oh yeah, super cool. So then what I'll do is I'll take this parameter, so it's visible on my push, and I will press record and just sort of tweak the filter at halftime, but do all the technical stuff that I want to be sped up. Oops, MIDI automation arm has to be enabled, otherwise it won't record. And then if that happens and it catches back, you can just press Command undo and it'll undo that little bit. Now the fun part comes, is where I can unrecord, enable this, turn this back to 140, and listen back to these cool. Not bad. Let's see what happens when we introduce an LFO. And reduce the volume of this a little bit. Let's listen to everything. And now, see, now I have something cool to work with, so I can go in. If I wanted to make further edits, like making some stuttery things here, maybe on triplets, I can do so quite easily. Maybe not quite that much time, maybe just a 16th down. And if I hold Alt, I can tear in these little unautomated points, which can add for some cool stuff. That's cool. I'm not sure the cue is going to help. Alright, so I'm definitely creating some peaking by doing this. And if I find a part I want to repeat, and then it's like I hear it, but I can't make it happen in the MIDI, so I'll just record it. This isn't really Jimmy's lead, but that's okay. I don't think Jimmy's going to mind. I'm just going to quickly resample. Did something get messed up? Oh, Jimmy is just set on external in when he should be on resampling. And there's an auto filter on here, so I'm just going to turn it off. Maybe I wanted it on the whole time. I'm going to turn it off for where I'm about to record so it doesn't interfere. And solo the slip and get this part rocking in audio. So I actually think the part was earlier. I think it was... It's this. Dun, 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 dun. So then I have it here in audio. I see it starts here. I can just take out that note. Pretty tactical here. Psh, 10 dB of gain. Is that going to be enough? 15 maybe. Maybe I will need this filter after all to sort of balance this out. And then it's cool. And then it's like a little conversational phrase. Maybe it's a little bit too much gain. Maybe it's a little bit too much. Alright, that's kind of cool. Is it? What about doing something with this? Bump. And then I like this so much, I kind of want to repeat it. Whoa, feedback. Dun, 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 dun. Ah, come on. That's cool. That's cool, actually. Ah. What should it be? I can't think of it. Maybe it's that. And then maybe I can repeat this part over this and it can become part of the melody that I need to write. That could be it. It. So it's it should go just at the end. There it is. Love that. I think this is going to groove. Does it groove? That is the question. Yes, I believe it grooves. But I'm seeing some peaking. Alright, so I'm going to take away make exciting. I'm going to take away make a lead too because maybe I'll just like sort of yeah, let's do something like that to make it move a little bit, but not be the main emphasis. Yeah. I think it's probably too loud, so I'll probably just, what a mess of clips this is. I'll just take it and then bring the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe. Still seeing clipping. There we go. I think that's good. All right, so where are we at in terms of time? An hour, a minute. I went over. Damn it. Oh well. So let's listen back and maybe just make some closing notes. We did a lot today and we got really far. I'm really quite proud of the fact that we're almost finished with the arrangement here. So I'm going to just sort of listen back and make any notes as they occur to me. But just to review, really what we did today and really what this was about is about taking notes, iterating on those notes, listening to the sections over and over again, trying to find the things in these parts that really need to come out and bringing them out. Not being completely closed to creating new things if they came up. And we got some lucky results today, I think. Okay, I am rambling, so let's listen to this track one more time and I will sign off. And I'm going to try not to hear the new elements, even though that's unavoidable. I'm literally not saying anything because I like most of it, which is usually not true about my stuff. I usually hate it for days. But not this. This I like. That's cool. Yeah, we did good work today. It happens a little abruptly. I might make a note of that. Say abrupt. So I'm going to stop it when we get to where we left off and include my loop head right there. I still don't love it, but I have a feeling I'm going to love the next section. This still needs work, but this section's good. Alright, cool. That's a wrap. That's a good session. Hour and 6 minutes. Well, if you're still listening, thank you so much for your support. It really does mean a ton to me that people care about what I'm doing. It's one of the hardest things when you're working on music and just in your own head, in your own space, wondering if anyone else cares. So if you do care, if you give a shit, drop me a note, a comment. I try to respond to everything that's somewhat intelligent. It doesn't even have to be intelligent. Just drop me a note and I will respond. Until next time, this is AK signing off.